Describe an article on health that you read in a magazine.
Well, I have to admit I almost never read magazines, so for this topic, I'm going to talk about a health article I came across on social media instead. I hope that's acceptable. I actually read it quite recently, maybe about a month ago, when I was scrolling through Facebook. The title was, let me try to remember the exact words, Why Sitting is Bad for Your Health. Intrigued by the headline and its eye-catching animated thumbnail, I clicked on it and read the whole thing carefully. As the title suggests, it discussed the harmful effects of a sedentary lifestyle, both in the short term and long term. It also suggested some practical tips to reduce sitting time, like standing up and walking around every 30 minutes, or adjusting your posture while working. This article really left a strong impression on me. In a way, it felt like a wake-up call. I mean, I'd always known that sitting for long hours isn't great, but I never realized how serious the long-term consequences could be. You see, as part of my job, I sit in front of a computer for nearly 8 hours a day, so this article really hit home. Since then, I've made some changes to my daily routine for the sake of my health. I followed some of the tips from the article and also came up with a few strategies of my own to stay more active throughout the day. Needless to say, I feel so lucky I found that article. Without it, I'd probably still be sitting for hours on end, and who knows what kind of health issues I might have faced in the future if I kept up that bad habit.
Do you think people are healthier now than in the past?
Well, some people might say that we're healthier than people in the past, but I don't really agree. I don't deny the fact that these days, people have better access to healthcare, more knowledge about nutrition, and more advanced medical treatments, which definitely helps us live longer and deal with illnesses more effectively. But at the same time, modern lifestyles can be pretty unhealthy. A lot of people spend most of their day sitting, either at a desk or staring at a screen, and they don't get enough physical activity. Plus, processed food is everywhere, and that's led to issues like obesity and diabetes become more and more common. So while we've made great progress in medical science, when it comes to daily habits and lifestyle choices, our routines today might actually be more harmful than those of previous generations.
How can you tell whether a website is reliable or not?
I don't know about others, but one thing I usually do is looking at the source. If it's a well-known organization or a government website, then it's more likely to be trustworthy. I also check if the information is backed up with facts like data, preferences, or expert opinions, not just personal opinions or clickbait headlines. Another thing I pay attention to is the design and overall feel of the site. If it looks outdated or full of pop-up ads, that's usually a red flag. And I try to cross-check the info too. If I can find the same details on other reputable sites, then I feel more confident that it's accurate.
What activities can schools organize for children to keep fit?
Well, off the top of my head, one of the most common ways for schools to help children stay in shape is by offering regular physical education classes, like football, swimming, or running. These not only boost fitness levels, but also teach important skills like teamwork and discipline. Apart from that, schools could also add more fun activities like dance clubs, yoga, or maybe even games during break time. Not every child enjoys traditional sports, so having a range of activities might encourage more kids to participate. On top of that, short exercise breaks between classes could be useful. Nothing intense, just some light stretching or moving around a bit to avoid sitting for too long. I remember some of my schools did that when I was younger, and I thought it worked really well. And maybe once in a while, they could organize like a sport day or some kind of friendly competition. It's a fun way to get kids active without pressuring them too much.
What can governments do to improve people's health?
Wow, that's a big question, I must say. Let me think about it real quick. What can governments do to enhance people's health? I assume one effective measure is to invest more in public healthcare, like building more hospitals or improving access to medical services, especially in rural areas. That would make it easier for people to get treatment when they need it, Also, I think education plays a big role. Governments could run campaigns to raise awareness about healthy eating, exercise, and the dangers of smoking or alcohol abuse. If people understand the risks, they are more likely to make better choices. Besides, stricter regulations could make a difference. For instance, taxing junk food, banning smoking in public places, or setting nutritional standards for school meals could all help create a healthier environment in the long run.
How do today's people keep healthy?
From what I have seen, nowadays people use a variety of methods to stay healthy, depending on their lifestyle and priorities. For example, people with hectic schedules often prefer home workouts or short walks because they're easier and more convenient. Others who have more free time might go to the gym or play sports regularly to stay fit and support their mental health. Also, people tend to pay more attention to their diet by planning their meals to reduce the risk of health problems like diabetes or obesity. On top of that, some take advantage of modern technology like fitness apps or smartwatches to track their progress and stick to healthy habits.
Is it difficult to keep healthy?
I guess it really depends on the individual and their lifestyle. For some people who are health conscious and already have healthy habits in place, it's just part of their daily routine. They might even enjoy things like cooking nutritious meals or exercising regularly. But for others, especially those who are super busy or juggling work and family responsibilities, staying healthy can be quite challenging. Plus, healthy food often costs more than fast food, and not everyone has access to fitness facilities or safe outdoor spaces to work out. Besides that, with all the stress and digital distractions these days, like constantly being on your phone or laptop, it's easy to fall into unhealthy habits without even realizing it. So, generally speaking, I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it definitely takes effort and self-discipline.
Where can people find information about keeping healthy?
Well, the first place that comes to mind is social media. Nowadays, people of all ages scroll through platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok every day, and there's tons of health-related content out there. It's quick and convenient, but the downside is that not all of it is reliable, so you do need to double-check the sources. Another common option is traditional media, things like newspapers, health magazines, or even books. These often provide more in-depth information and are usually written by professionals, so they're generally more trustworthy. And of course, if someone wants accurate and personalized advice, they can always go to a doctor or a local clinic. That way, they're getting information that's both reliable and specific to their situation.
Do schools have the responsibility to provide health education?
Yeah, I definitely think so. Kids spend a huge part of their day at school, so it's a great place to teach them not just academic stuff, but also how to take care of their health. Things like nutrition, hygiene, exercise, and even mental well-being are super important, and not every kid learns that at home. That said, schools alone can do everything. Parents and the government play a crucial role too. So for the most part, it should be a collective effort instead of letting schools single-handedly shoulder on responsibility.